I don't get it.
Podcast. Hello. We're having a highly emotional day, guys.
Yes, it's part of the human experience, and Ashley's feeling a lot of things right now, and we love her vulnerability and openness. I do. I always appreciate your openness and vulnerability to share what you're feeling.
Ashley, what's going on?
I just feel so overspread. I just don't know what to do with myself.
You're just overstressed?
There's just I just can't get anything done, and I don't know what to do. I'm just so spread thin, and I feel like a horrible mom because whenever I'm with Dawson, he's just I always need to be doing something else, and I can't ever enjoy my time with him, and I feel like I never enjoy any time of my life because
you're so overwhelmed.
I just feel I feel sad because there's so much of my day that I'm not happy around him. I feel so bad because yeah.
Well, we have to cut out something, or do you just need more help with Dawson?
I don't know. It's just because he's been so hard the past couple weeks. He's been so hard. Even when we have help, it's I still can't catch up in the 6 hours a day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because then it's okay, ready, set, go. You have 6 hours to do everything that you need when you actually probably need 12 hours to do everything. And it just feels it also makes me feel dumb because people I know people are well, what are you doing? But it's we want to do our jobs well, and we're really proud of what we do, and I like what I do, and I just don't want to. I don't know. Can I have Jared talk about it a little bit?
Of course, you can do whatever you want.
He wants to get it off his chest too. What is he doing?
Jared?
If Jared had a job where he was home more, that would be different too.
Yeah, I think it makes me sad because we never have family time with Dawson. Whenever we have time with him, it's always one of us having to hold him when the other one's trying to get something done.
Yeah.
And we just can't ever sit in a circle and play with him.
Aww.
We love you.
I just want to play with him.
Oh, Ash, this is the hardest I've ever seen you cry. And it's not even with laughs in between.
It's so good to let it all out though. I love that she's using this space to do it. Hi, Jared.
And he just doesn't stop crying. Don't know why. And that makes me feel sad too because why is he crying so much?
Well, he's certainly not crying because he doesn't not like his life.
Hi, friend.
Hello.
How are you feeling?
Oh, I'm fine. It's just there's just a lot of stress and anxiety in the house the past couple weeks, honestly. So it's just been tough, and I do feel really bad for Ash because Audrey's is just very time consuming for me because I'm there a lot, and also I just get up and a lot of my day is consumed with it. It just adds up, right? Because if we spend, multiple hours doing social media and then podcasting, and then, if I'm at Audrey's 50 hours a week, and then I have to do owner's things, so that takes probably 30 hours. So just with Audrey's itself, me either at the shop or on the computer, it's probably, and I'm not hyperbole saying this, it's probably about 70 to 80 hours of my week.
That's so many hours.
It's a lot, right? And then of course, one day a week, we just film content. So that takes, well, it's one day away for me, obviously. It's much different for Ashley. That's every day for Ash. And the problem is because my time is being so consumed, she's dealing with Dawson more so than I am. And Dawson, he's just going through a fit right now, just like any toddler would. He cries a lot. He requires a lot of attention. He's not the baby that we could put in the playpen, and he's going to be fine for 45 minutes to an hour. It's he's in there for a few minutes, and then he just starts crying. And it's honestly a lot of our own fault. No fault. I mean, it is our fault and it's not our fault. It's because we love him so much and we give him so much attention, and that he's always so used to someone just being there for him. And so when he cries, we're there for him. And so now he knows if he cries, we go.
I know. It's a toss up between like, is it actual tough love to like let him cry, or is it actually like he wants to feel safe and you're just being nice by picking him up every time? You know, it's like, which one do you do? And both schools of thoughts like think they're very correct, but which one's gonna get you guys kind of like happier?
No, the doctor yesterday, he had his checkup yesterday, just like his 9-month checkup, and she was like, you have to think of it like you're benefiting his like mental, like developmental skills by like letting him actually just like fuss and whine and cry and stuff.
Okay.
Because he needs, well, that was mostly with like, was that mostly with sleep and stuff?
Yeah, mostly with sleep. He hasn't been sleeping at all.
Like, he's so sleep deprived that, like, it affects his daytime sleep. So then he's fighting daytime sleep, which makes him even more tired. And now he's just so tired that, like, it's that he, like, wakes up in the night and then he won't take naps during the day. And then, like, he's constantly cranky, which means that he's always crying and whining with us. And it's like, when Jared's gone, I'll be like with him for like 5 straight hours, and all it is me moving him from place to place. Mm-hmm. And it's like 5 to 10 minutes with him being okay until he starts crying. And it's just like when you're in the house with something that won't stop crying for like 5 or 6 hours alone, it's just like really hard on you mentally.
And the problem becomes Ashley's not a stay-at-home mom. I mean, you work a lot. And so when I get home or we have a nanny, and Ashley can't take 4 or 5 hours to herself, she has to take that time to film content, record, edit, do whatever she needs to do, and then the nanny leaves, and it's like, okay, great, now I'm back with Dawson, which is great. We love Dawson, but we don't spend a lot of quality time together, which is, I think, really building up with stress, anxiety in the house.
That's really what's doing it, because, like, even when Jared is home, it's, like, not fun.
No, it's not fun, because it's like, you know, even today's a good example. I wake up, I let Ashley sleep till, like, 9:30, 10, because she's been up throughout the night, and so have I, but
I wake up throughout the night and do the night thing, then he gives me, like, an extra hour.
So I'm with Dawson till then, and he requires all my time. And so then Ashley wakes up, starts taking care of Dawson, and then I immediately have to hop on the computer and start getting things done, because then I'm working at 5 right now, so I have to be out of here in an hour and a half. So I have about like 6 or 7 hours that I could dedicate to emails, Audrey's, or social media, and then I immediately go to work, and then I'm there till about midnight tonight, and then tomorrow we'll wake up and do it all over again. So, and the past couple weeks have been bad too, because my kitchen manager, who I rely on a lot, has been sick, so he called out a few times, so I've had to go in. So that was also a bad timing for a lot of this as well. And we've had a lot of wedding parties, so which has been great. So we do this thing for Audrey's on where there's a vineyard. There's a lot of weddings there.
We'd love for you to come in and have a wedding party after.
And it's a lot of fun.
I saw that. That's really cute.
But I'm there. Like, we've had probably 4 in the past 2 weeks, which is a lot for us, which is great because they're only Friday or Saturday.
Yeah.
But it means I'm there till 2 in the morning. So then I come home, I'm exhausted, and then, you know, it's tough to let Ashley sleep in, and Dawson's waking us throughout the night. And so it's just like we're all sleep deprived. We're all very stressed. We don't really do anything as a family. And, you know, we're just working a lot. And so I think it's just gotten to a boiling point the past few days where it's been this constant tension in the house.
But it's not like between us.
No,
it's just like
in
us
the
being
air.
like so frustrated. Like, we just don't know how to solve our issue.
Yeah. I mean, I remember even before Dawson came along, you were still jam-packed. Like, if I would go visit you guys, it was still like a regimented routine. So just on top of that, an entire other person, you know.
Yeah.
that you have to tend to all the time.
I want to say, I think it's beautiful that you guys shared this, because I think anyone that has just started a business or just had a child, like, is feeling everything you guys are feeling. Like, all this stuff's normal. But as someone who also, I don't have a kid, but I am running somewhat of a business, and I have a million things that are like my baby. I think I had to create a major audit in my life, because you do get to a point where you're like, well, what is the point of this if I'm not having fun? Like, I was like, what is the point of me having my dream job if I'm just going to be tired and have anxiety all the time? Which is why I take a day off my phone, a day off Instagram, or I just came back from Hawaii, did 5 days, no email, nothing. And so I think you guys should just sit down, have an audit, and prioritize, like, okay, what means the most to us? Family time. Maybe we do that Sunday for 3 hours. We put our phones away. And Ash, if I were you, I would just do social media stuff 3 days a week. And I think the key to life is learning how to say no. Because what people don't realize is when you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. So whenever I'm presented
100%.
with a decision, like if someone invites me to a wedding, I'm like, okay, if I say yes to this wedding, what am I saying no to? I'm saying no to eating everything healthy that weekend, to getting 8 hours of sleep, to being in a different time zone, to not potentially getting work done Sunday night. It's to doing laundry. It's like you have to, do you know what I mean? And it's not going to, of course, this is like going to be hard. You're starting a business, you have a kid. I don't know what that's like, obviously, but I think if you prioritize your mental health, Ash, and you even took 20 minutes every morning to just breathe and meditate or watch something funny just for you, you're going to bring that energy into everything you do, all the videos, into time with Dawson. Like you have to fill your cup up first before you fill anyone else's. Otherwise, because for me, we're all on camera. We're all performers, right? So it's like if we have low energy, anything we say on a podcast, any video we record, any time we spend with our children doesn't even feel like we're being aligned with our true selves. You know what I mean?
Okay, first off, yes, this is why I told you guys to record off the bat, because like I think that like it is something that a lot of people will like hear and be like, oh my God, thank God somebody's saying it, you know? But then this is more of like a marital counseling thing. We talk all the time about what we need to do to cut that middle area out. He very much knows what it is. It makes the most sense. It's what makes the most sense financially and everywhere, is that just Jared cannot be scheduled at work. He just needs to be the owner, not a worker there.
Of course, and that's a big part of it. Listen, for any small business owner out there, especially in the restaurant industry, you're aware that it's not really the greatest time for small businesses because everything is costing, like a box of romaine is over $100.
Everything is so much money now. Everything.
Literally, romaine lettuce, a box of romaine lettuce is over $100 now.
Lauren,
It's crazy.
remember when we had the Caesar salad that was on iceberg lettuce at the chain cafe?
Yeah.
And I was like, this is a budget cut right there. Well, then a couple days later, Jared goes, guess how much romaine is?
So
Yeah.
my point
Yeah.
being is that it's just difficult because as a business owner, I'm seeing the business lose money, and I understand like what I need to do to try to do to like fix that.
You're not thinking about our family finances.
I agree. And then, of course, there's that other aspect, which is social media, which we're both very aware. We don't know how much longer it's going to last. I know we've been saying this for quite some time,
But still keep
literally,
saying it.
we're so dependent on social media and so dependent on us being in
Right.
this entertainment industry that, like, I think in our minds, we're always kind of waiting. Like, because I think about, okay, well, if I stop investing so much into Audrey's, is it going to fail? Because literally, it's really just, I mean, people who work there care. Of course, they care about the business, but they, it's just a different type of care. They have a paycheck and they don't take their work home with them. And it's like, well, if Audrey's fails, like we fail.
Yeah.
So I've invested so much money into it and time. So I want to make sure it succeeds. So I have to spend so much time there to ensure that. But then also conversely with this whole entertainment thing, it's like, well, this also has a timeline as well because, nothing is ever guaranteed. And
But
it just always feels like.
But does it? Like, if you've been saying it
I don't
forever
know.
and it hasn't, I think it's like a lack of abundance. I think it's a lack of abundance mindset. It's like you can say no to things and what's meant for you will flow to you. And even if Audrey shut down tomorrow, it is a massive undertaking and a massive success. I mean, people open
That's what I
businesses
tell 'em.
and you
Yeah.
guys have fucking wine nights, you have wedding, like within months of being open. Like you have drinks, you have bachelor nights, you've already hosted things. These are things that people do over the course of years.
Yeah.
Audrey's is so successful, whether it made $1 or not. And I had to realize that with Heartbroken Anonymous. Obviously, that's not a like brick and mortar like yours.
still.
But I said when one person came, I was like, do I shut down these meetings? And then I really had to get back to why. Well, why am I doing this? And if 2 people come, then it's still a success to me. I'm still making it. That's life. It's peaks and valleys. Sometimes no one's going to go in the coffee shop a lot, and sometimes you're going to be slammed. And the punchline is it's all going to work out. Everything's going to be okay. What if social media going away is the best thing that ever happened to both of you guys?
No,
go,
I'm
no.
serious.
Well, no, it could.
I'm just saying you're not thinking of every possibility. Something else would come through. Maybe Audrey's would come through. Maybe you'd have more family time. You'd spend less time. Like I'm not saying it will.
Yeah, but
Well-
I think I'm trying to say this. I'd much rather Audrey's fail than social media go away.
duh.
And so would Jared.
Yes, totally. But you don't have control over life, Ashley. That's what I'm saying. We don't control.
Yeah,
the
but I'd
outcome.
rather him be investing the time in that, which we
Of course.
enjoy very much. Like you guys, like that follow us on social, like you can tell that, like with these ads and stuff, we don't just throw them together. Like we put a lot of effort into them. We try to make them our own.
No, you guys are amazing at them.
We do enjoy it, and that's what's like sort
Yeah.
of annoying too. Is like I feel bad because it's like sometimes I'll be hanging out with Dawson. I'll be like, man, I really wish I could edit that video. It's like I just, I like really just like
Yeah.
I like want to do it.
You want to feel creatively fulfilled.
I want
Yeah.
the creative fulfillment.
But it's also-
But just like you want to do that, Jared wants to own a coffee shop, and I think it's important to honor what Jared's
Of course,
passion
and she
is
has.
and what he. Yeah, totally. But I'm saying
She wholesheartedly has, because
you obviously
done-
don't want to give that up. Like that's something that
No.
you care about. So it's a matter of finding a middle ground and maybe losing a
1,000%.
little money ahead of time, hiring a producer for all your social media videos, like hiring
which
people
we've
that'll.
already done. That's the thing. That's what's so frustrating is now we have a social media girl who helps us with videos. We have a nanny.
Yeah.
And it's still freaking.
Well, also we just got
But
the
can
nanny.
you? So then it's clearly not working the best for your life. So you need to sit down with them, ask them if they're available more days. You need to, if you have it already, just finagle it in a way because it's not working in the way it currently is standing.
And I agree. Actually, I do agree with you, Naz, because Ashley and I talk about this a lot, and because we vent and we complain. But I think a lot of times I'll talk to Ash, and it's like we just need to focus on how do we fix this. And I understand Audrey's a huge part of that, and
we
I've been
know how
trying.
we fix it. We get a cook in the back so that
I
you
know.
don't have to be cooking
It's
in the
not-
back.
So basically, you know the solution. I feel like do that, or like don't schedule yourself.
Yeah.
See what happens after 30 days. Maybe the place is afloat and it's doing exactly the same, and then you can keep doing that. But just give it a little test run and see what happens.
I agree.
But Jared, I want to validate your feelings because it is very hard to let go when you have a vision for something. And like when I had other
Yeah.
people started moderating the meetings, because I was like, I can't moderate every single meeting. Like I
Yeah.
have a life, but I want this to keep going. It was a real big struggle for me to like let go because you never feel like someone's going to care about something as much as you are. So like I completely
And they won't. And it's not even. It's also
but
caring.
Jared, but I have learned to trust people, and I found out that they do actually, and like letting go and trusting made my life so much better.
Oh, I trust people. It's just when I'm there, like, and Lauren, you'll experience this, or maybe you already have experienced this once you start growing your own business and salon, is that there'll come a time when you're like, I know that I do the job better, and the restaurant would be better off because I'm there doing it. There's a difference between a manager taking care of a situation and an owner. That's why when I'm there, it just is different because I can do things that nobody else can simply because I own the place, because people view me differently, and because I can just do more things. And so it's hard because I'm like, I know for a fact that they're not getting the as best Audrey's can offer if I'm not there. Does that make sense? And so that's the hardest
Yeah,
part, is because
totally.
when I see it, I'd experience it. It's not like they do a great job, and I love
But
my
it's
employees.
also,
and they
Jared,
work
at
hard
at what cost and what Jared are they getting? Because if you're exhausted and tired all the time, you're bringing that energy into Audrey's, which I would argue is not. And the guy that started McDonald's could have said the same thing. But
100%.
it's like
that's the question, is the cost.
it's there is
And
a matter of letting go, which you'll get to eventually comfortably within your own body.
Yeah.
And when you do, you will be so much happier. And yes, it won't be as good as when you're doing it. Just like when I moderate an HBA meeting, people love it, but it still services other people and
Yeah.
gets the job done. And I'm happier and sleeping and
Totally.
dating and shopping and doing stuff.
Yeah.
I'm living
And
life,
also-
I'm not living just for
1,000%.
others. Yeah.
But I also think that Dawson doesn't. Audrey's is obviously probably the biggest, but the problem is that we had probably two of the most significant events in our lives happen simultaneously,
Yeah.
which is open a
Right,
business
right.
and then also have a kid. And it just so happened Dawson is the most amazing kid in the whole world, and I love him more than anything. But let's be honest, he requires a lot, and he puts a lot of strain on both of us, and just like any parent does. It's not a coincidence that you see a lot of moms and they just look tired as hell, because it's like, yeah, I'm exhausted and I'm really tired.
Totally.
It's hard. It's tough to say that parenting is hard because we're very grateful to have kids and we're very grateful to have a healthy kid that we love so much. But to say that it isn't probably the hardest thing we've ever done would be disingenuous. And that doesn't mean that we don't love our kid, that we wouldn't die for Dawson. I would take a bullet for him right now. I love that kid more than anything. But to say that it's not...
Both can exist. Like both. I hate when people don't think that. Both can exist. You can like miss your job, miss being creative, want your own me time, and love your child. Like they're not simultaneous. And honestly, Ashley, if you got more of a full-time nanny so you could be creative and stuff,
I did just hire someone.
Oh, okay. Very good.
Oh, that's
No,
amazing.
now we have full-time nanny help. It's
Okay,
Yay!
that's good. Okay, so then
So
you'll get
it's-
hopefully all of your shit done. So then when it is actual time for family time,
I think we probably have it's about almost 40 hours of nanny time a week now, right?
I think it's getting there. So the problem, we hired a nanny and then...
That's great, Ash. I know that's expensive too. I know nannies aren't
I mean,
cheap.
I know this is stupid.
No, that's the
a
other thing.
huge thing because it's like you
It's
said earlier,
massive.
you were like, you should be, you were like, you should be delegating more, like having the nanny, having the social media girl. It's like, yeah, but then like at a certain point, it's like, well, financially, does that even like what the?
it does.
fuck, you know?
It does.
I know it does, but it's still like, wow,
Does it?
that's
No,
such a,
I
Because
get
then if
it
I'm paying
because-
more people at Audrey's and we're
Yeah.
paying for a nanny and social media, it's
that's
like...
no, that's what I'm saying. It's getting close. You get close.
Yeah, it's
Actually,
getting to a
I'm
point where
telling
I'm
you
like,
right
okay.
now, I'm not like profiting in a sense where I thought about myself as a business and I'm like, I'm investing in myself because you guys know I have a social media instructor, I have a mentor I pay,
Yeah.
and I just hired someone to help me study for these award shows because it takes me hours on the computer and I'm like, man, if I could delegate this to someone else. And you're absolutely right. A part of me is like, this fucking sucks. Like, am I making it? But in my head, I'm like, Dawson's going to be young. This is the beginning of my career. I'm investing and it'll all come together one day, but it's worth my sanity. Otherwise, I'd be literally alone in a room on a computer my entire life.
Crying, having tears just
know.
drop on my keyboard as I'm studying
seriously.
for the Oscars.
And then again, like we're super blessed that we can have a nanny who's in the house and like we don't have to be away from him when we're working at home and like all that. I just want to say that like obviously like we recognize how blessed we are in that situation and
and to have two parents, which is crazy. Like
No,
imagine
two
if you.
parents.
Yeah,
It's like
absolutely.
the whole "it takes a village" thing like actually isn't said enough.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how single parents do it.
Being a new parent is fucking hard. It's arguably, or it is without a doubt, the hardest gig there is raising a child.
It really is.
Truly.
And the thing is, like, I don't want to like be like, Dawson's so hard, but Dawson is seriously so hard. We go out to dinner and we talk to people, like we'll talk to friends who have kids the same ages.
And they're like, yeah,
And
they're
they're like-
sleeping from like 7 to 7. And I'm like, oh, go fuck yourself.
And then they'll be like, oh yeah. They're like, you know what? I'm not even kidding you guys. Our friend last night, they have like a 4.5-month-old. They're like, he gets up at like 7:30 and like we see him on the monitor, but he hangs in there for like an hour, just like wiggling around.
Okay, well,
and, like,
Dawson's just going to be a star. That's basically it.
and
you
I'm just
know?
like, and then it's
right.
like, and then we see Nora, our niece, who's 3 months older than him, and she's just like sitting there at a table for like 2 hours, just chilling. And then Dawson is just like,
Now, each grandparent has to like pick them
Yeah.
up, hold them, walk them around. It's like we take turns. And we're like, is this us?
is this
Was this
us?
our
Is
fault?
this, like, I don't know.
It's amazing how different babies can be. Like the same age, just different personalities. It's like at that young age, different personalities.
All right,
Jared
well, thank
has
you
to
for the talk.
leave.
Love you both.
No, we love
Love
you,
you.
Jared, and I'm sorry you're feeling this way and it's going to get better. All right, my friends, whether you are a new mom or you are just deciding what to get someone this holiday season, either way, I'm excited to tell you about Storyworth. This is like literally one of the coolest inventions. It's one of those things where you're like, why didn't I come up with this? So it's basically an online service that helps you and your loved ones preserve precious memories and stories for years to come. So it's basically the most thoughtful and meaningful gift that connects you to those who matter most. Every week, this company emails your relative or friend, or you could do it with yourself if you're a new mom, like I was saying, a thought-provoking question of your choice, or they have like a bunch of options of questions, and it basically asks them a unique prompt, like, what's the bravest thing you've ever done in your life? Or if you could see into the future, what would you want to find out? And then that person answers it, and then you have this amazing Storyworth collection of memories, books from someone you really love or from yourself.
This is a really, really awesome idea. After 1 year of Storyworth, you'll have compiled so many of your loved ones' stories, including photos, and you could put it in a beautiful keepsake book, and you'll be able to share that and revisit it for generations. So think of it like a photo album, but a photo album with stories and photos. And you know how we are with photo albums. Like, they're just so much more special than they are when you're just looking at them on the phone. Something about that tangibility. And then you can read weekly stories to help you connect with loved ones no matter how far they are. And, you know, I know this is dark, but, like, obviously this would be, like, a very special thing to have once a family member has passed.
Right. I mean, I think giving this to mom and dad would actually be a very good idea, and then you can have Dawson see it in a couple years. I think that would be really cute. That would be
It's very emotional. We're all just going to start crying again.
very emotional. I'm so sorry. But it's emotional. I think it's a great idea that you get like really memorable and thoughtful, like, I don't know, prompts out of your loved ones that you would normally not
Talk
find
about,
out over
yeah.
Thanksgiving
Yeah.
dinner. So with Storyworth, I'm giving those I love most a thoughtful personal gift from the heart and preserving their memories and stories for years to come. So go to storyworth.com/getit and save $10 on your first purchase. That's storyworth.com/getit to save $10 on your first purchase.
The thing with kids is this too shall pass. They grow up, and it's sort of that crazy temporary stage, but it doesn't make it any easier. So I really want to validate how you're feeling.
Thanks. And that's like, I see people, it's like they were like ready for like the second kid, like within the first year.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
No way.
I'm like, am I doing something? Like, am I not equipped for this?
No,
You're actually
that's not
everyone
You know what I mean?
agrees.
Like, am I bad at this? And like, I
No.
wasn't supposed to like do this?
No, see, I'm not going to let you go down the shame road. Like, what we're not going to do is that. And you can feel that, and I acknowledge that and validate that for you, but it's not true. And all my friends that have kids feel this way. They're exhausted. They're tired. It's hard. They miss their old life sometimes. Like, it all can exist, and it's all okay. And it's beautiful and amazing.
Like, mom kept saying, like, your life's going to be so much better. Your life's going to be so much better. And I'm like, Mom, like, I don't feel like my life's a lot better. Like, again, like what Jared said, like, I would like pretty much kill myself if Dawson were to die. You know what I mean? Like, that's how much I love him.
Yeah.
Like, there's like I never want to go back to that part of my life without him. But like, am I happier? Like, I don't feel happier. I feel like I feel so like just overwhelmed constantly, and that's all.
I just think that at a certain age, when they're able to like, you're able to like, okay, I'm gonna go do this now, and let them occupy themselves at like age, I don't know, 7,
Yeah, I
6 or
know.
7.
Well,
like,
I
you're
told Mom-
almost there.
No, I know, but I told Mom that. I was like, Mom, you told me that my life was supposed to get better. That she's like, well, not yet.
Okay, so not yet.
I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, not yet.
Well, then tell me that initially, because
Yeah.
then I feel like, I feel like I'm like not wired properly.
Can I just say, let me say this. So, Mom and I, or whenever we're taking care of Dawson, we watch you take care of Dawson, we're always like, we wish that every baby in the world was taking as good as care as Dawson. So obviously you're taking great care of him. You're not doing anything wrong. He's just a literal star who needs attention all the time. Like, he's just going to be a character. That's it.
Yeah. Ashley, you're literally a beacon of light and a ball of love to everyone. So imagine having you as a mom. Like, I'm so jealous of Dawson because you're just you're like that girl in Finding Nemo who like wants she like loves it so much she's gonna kill it. Like, you're like, you just want to squeeze the love into people. And I'm telling you, Dawson is so lucky to have you. And it's a matter of letting go of the resistance. So I think a lot of our suffering comes from resistance. Like, oh, if only Jared could come home, and if only we didn't have a coffee shop, and if only I had the easy baby. And it's like, no, take a deep breath, cry it out, except you have a hard baby right now. And you have a husband that is managing a small business. And once you let go of that resistance, you're not suffering as much anymore, because you're like, this is temporary. We're going through this together. We're getting through it together. Yeah. You and Jared aren't splitting apart. Your kid isn't unhealthy. Your kid isn't like hates you. It's just growing, and this is a part of life. And once you just literally release the resistance, and you're like, okay, Jared's going to be gone. I'm going to set aside time and do the best I can and have a full nanny, and maybe I'll watch The White Lotus every Sunday and that'll be my me time. Like it's like little wins day by day, you know?
Yeah.
It's true.
And I know it's like, I'm like saying this, you know, as the nanny is downstairs for like the second day. And it's like, I might look back on this and like laugh in like a few months just because like maybe it really does help and even out my life a lot. And I know that like, you know, again, like I always do feel really stupid like talking about my influencer job, you know, but this is like the really heavy portion of the year for us, November and December. Like by like
You're literally a
double the amount.
QVC channel all the time.
Pretty much. So and I know like this is again like really dumb, but like with Instagram Reels, it just really added a whole other like
my
layer
God.
of
Yeah.
production onto our
I had to
life,
hire
you know,
someone.
like
That's literally
Horrible.
when I
Well,
feel
yeah.
like you change. I feel like that's when your stress level changed. Honestly, is when
I
they
think
start
so, too.
requiring reels.
yeah. So now it's not like I used to take a, you know, it used to be a picture and a video shoot for the story and then the reel. And now it's 2 video shoots. And the way that you have to do it is really high quality so that it doesn't crunch. So like we have our social media girl, and we like do like a whole like little mini movie, which I know we go above and beyond, but like I also want to go
You
above
love
and
it.
You've
beyond. That's
always
my
done that.
nature.
Yeah.
That's
You've
my
always-
nature.
It's your
Part of-
nature.
and it lights you
Yeah.
up. You like doing it.
And even Jared,
It is.
and
Like
Jared
even though
with the
it's way
editing,
more work.
you know, like Jared
Yeah.
sits there at the computer and he's smiling.
And he loves it.
Yeah.
He is. He smiles when he's at the computer. Yesterday, he was like showing all of his friends like his new like vacuum ad because like he was so proud of it. Like I'm not even kidding you.
But
And
so,
it's
Ash, in
just-
that case, like if I were you guys, let's say you get 5 in 1 week, at this point in life, I would say no to 2 and make 3 really great ones. And maybe you lose a little money, but you have a little time to sit down and eat dinner and watch a show and like just be together and hold each other and have playtime with your kid.
I'm obviously not going to talk about finances like in depth right now, but that's why I get really frustrated with Jared not having somebody in the kitchen because the financial difference of it is like so incredibly different. Right. So, yeah, but we won't get into that. But that's why it's like, if we're going to cut somewhere, we're going to cut there. And calling all people in Rhode Island who would like to work in a kitchen because we need help back there. And that's all.
Yeah. Well, you found a nanny last time you did that, so you just put out
I
your
did.
request to the universe.
Well, actually,
and now
we have
we'll see who comes through.
Our Monday, Wednesday girl we found through I Don't Get It. And then our
Amazing.
Tuesday through Thursday girl we found through Instagram, and they're both the most wonderful people like ever, and like I'm just so lucky that we found these 2. Anyway,
Is Gergie? Oh my God, is he quiet down there now? Is he having fun? Can you hear anything?
well, from when I went upstairs, he was asleep, in which he really needed the sleep, and he has like a little cold right now. And all that,
Oh, okay. So that's also why he's been
That's also
a nightmare
hard too when
this
they're
week.
sick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he has a cold, and like he woke up from his nap after a half an hour from not being able. You can just tell he was like trying to get air, and he wants his pacifier in his mouth, but he needs to like breathe through his mouth, and it's like really sad. So
Mommy guilt is real. I don't know what that feels like, but I can't imagine what it does feel like because I feel like I would be so restless if I felt like I was like letting someone down all the time.
yeah, I don't.
Just don't
I don't know
let
that I
you
feel like-
down, Ashley, because you are such a light spirit and like you. I feel like it's important for you to get back into alignment and have good energy. And like, I don't know if that means going to visit Lauren for 2 days. I don't know what it means, but I feel like that would just do wonders for your soul and spirit.
I will come
Yeah,
to you.
I think it's really
many
TV,
a time.
which I know I said this
TV.
on Instagram this week.
Oh, yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, I really just want to like watch TV more and like put my phone away because like when I like actually just like watch a show, like I watched Handmaid's Tale like 6 episodes within the past week, like every day, like an
Handmaid's Tale is
hour.
making you very depressed.
And I know, no, it's making me it like makes me like actually relax because like I actually get like invested in a storyline.
Right, you're lost
and
in
what-
another world. Yeah.
Can I say?
yeah, what
this?
doesn't help, is when I'm scrolling and watching TV. Like if I'm watching TV in the background, because like before this week, when Jared and I do have like when he's not working late nights, and I'm like, and we're together, and Dawson's like actually asleep, and we have like an hour. I'll have like HGTV on in the background, and he'll have sports in the background, and I'll be like scrolling on my phone and blah blah. And I'm like, I realize that I'm not relaxing during those moments.
Overstimulated. You're really overstimulated. Yeah, because we always have every TV on in the house, and I'm always scrolling on TikTok. The other day, I was on the verge of a panic attack. I felt my heart starting to go, and I was like, okay, no more TikTok. Let's watch American Horror Story. I need to be in a story. 10 minutes in the story, I was like, I forgot. I was about to have a panic attack.
So your TV shows are like nature for me. Because what we should have Tommy on the podcast.
That makes me sound so dumb.
No.
TV, and then Nat's just like getting out of nature.
No, because I would love for you guys to do that because I just went to Kauai for 5 days. It was my first vacation just for me because I've been at a million weddings this year. All my travel was for someone else, and I went with my friend and I shut my phone off and I didn't answer one email. I didn't answer one text. I went on brick mode. I think we should have Tommy on our next podcast. I had him on in 2020. He was on a half bonus podcast. Yeah. But I would love for him to talk to you guys because he introduced this grassroots movement called Brick, and my phone is in brick mode all the time. So I don't look at my phone the first hour of the day. When I wake up, I do not open my phone because that is the equivalent of 10 people.
Yeah, do you check the time?
No, because I have my Google Home wake me up at 7 a.m. every morning. So I know it's 7 a.m. So from 7 to 8, I have coffee, I meditate. I do not look at anything. I visualize. And then at 8 a.m., I check my emails at 8, 12, 3, 5, and sometimes 9. And that is it. Otherwise, I would constantly be on email. And I don't care that the whole world is needs an answer right away. That is not how I'm living my life. And then the last hour of the day, I charge my phone in another room an hour before I go to bed so that I chill again. And another thing I learned from Peter Crone is you need to be in parasympathetic. I think I'm saying this right, or it's the opposite. But when you're looking at a phone or even a screen, you're so myopic and it raises anxiety levels. When you're out in nature, I was in Kauai and it's within 5 minutes of nature, and this is proven scientifically, the front lobes of your brain stop working, which is the thinking part of what I'm doing. And the back part of your brain turns on and you're literally euphoric. Kauai, first of all, I'll talk about on our next podcast, it's literally where they shot Jurassic Park. It was so stunning. I was not stressed. And I was like, wow, this is how we're supposed to feel. This is literally how we're supposed to feel as humans. I'm not worried about an outcome or how anything was happening. And I think it's so important. Ash, even if you did a morning walk for 20 minutes down the street and just looked at trees, it is so important to put your phone away. And that's why when TikTok came out, Lauren, I was like, I'm not adding this to my life. I'm hiring a social media manager and she can make it and I'm never on it. But otherwise I would just spend so much time having anxiety and comparing myself to other people when I could be reading a book or watching a good movie or hanging out with a friend,
Yeah. I personally don't want to villainize social media, and obviously I rely on it heavily for my life and my career. And I do really enjoy it. However, I do know that if I just put my phone in the charging position and just watch TV, that's good for me. There is something about the mindless scrolling that is so much different than different kinds of screen time. Screen time on the TV to me is a different thing than scrolling. And as it sucks because this is definitely where I don't think I'd ever have really seasonal depression, but it certainly blows that I don't enjoy being outside over here at this point.
Just gray and
because it's just gray and cold. Yeah, that's why
it's so cold. It just ruins my soul. Feels very angry outside in the cold.
But for you, what if the nanny came an hour earlier one day and that was your treat, and you got in the car, got Dunkin', and drove and just looked without your phone, put your phone in the center console, and for 30 minutes just looked at the foliage and looked at different houses.
The foliage. First off, love they said foliage.
Whatever. I can never say that word.
Foliage.
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 It's really hard
Foliage.
for me to say always.
That's hilarious. Actually, Naz, that is probably
And you listen to a Taylor
something I
Swift
need-
song,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
you
yeah.
listen to something that just puts you, that wasn't
Brings you to
it's
nostalgia.
great to watch shows. You guys know I'm not going to villainize social media either.
No, yeah.
I make money
Yeah.
off of it too, but it's always at what cost? If I'm not happy, it's not worth it to me. And TV, you guys know, is my job, so that's why I don't feel as
you don't feel relaxed
I'm
watching
a little
TV. I
more
get it.
in thinking
That's like,
mode.
but people are like, when you watch, like, I'm like, well, I have to watch The Bachelor, right? But that in my head is also like,
Yeah.
okay, that's part of the job. That's why it's like, oh, watch Handmaid's Tale. Like, that's my relaxing couple hours. Now, what were we saying? What were you saying, Lauren? You were about to say.
I was just about to say something because, like, looking at nature distracts you from everything, takes away your frontal lobe. I kind of realized it the other day when I was driving home, and I saw the moon at like a really weird phase. It was really, really weird, and I'm like, I'm looking at the moon right now. It was a very, like, I don't know, meta thought. I was like, looking at the moon, which is a planet, which is not a planet, it's a moon. You know, it's a big thing in the sky.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I am on one of those right now, and I'm on a road on one of those. What the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like I'm driving on one of those spheres in the sky,
Yeah.
and I'm worried
it's pretty
about
weird.
going to do
Yes,
something
yes.
right now.
This is
you
why
know?
I get high all the time, and I love weed gummies. And in Hawaii, you see every star in the sky. So every night, Natalie and I, my friend, we stargazed, and I took a weed gummy. And Natalie was like, "If everyone in the world could see all the stars at night,
Yeah, no one would worry
everyone
about.
would love each other, because you would just know that you're part of something larger." When you think of how fucking small we are, like, it's actually comical.
It's so
when people
relieving.
it's so relieving. That's why I think it's important to go to the ocean, watch the waves for a while, drive through the car, look at trees, like, remind yourself that it's all going to be okay. It's all going to be okay because it always was okay.
Yeah, and I think another thing is that Naz will love this. I normally would wake up at like 9 anyway. You know, like, I think 9 is a pretty normal time for me to wake up. You know, like, go to bed at 12ish, wake up at 9 if I'm lucky. But I'm also waking up multiple times in the middle of that. But I've been having the nannies come at like 1ish after his nap. Because I'm like, oh, I don't want to spend like a couple hours, like, I don't want to spend like an hour and a half like on them when he's napping. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I actually think that for my mental health, it would be best to start the day with them, have them come at 9 to like 3.
Yeah.
Because that way I can, like, I wake up, I could have a little me time.
Yeah.
I don't have to jump into the stress the second that, like, we wake up, and then I can, like, get ready and, like, brush my teeth before noon and wash my face and go in the shower and put my makeup on and then get things done, and then, like,
I am such.
I think
want you
that's
to do
probably better for me.
I'm such a ninja with if I like could give any advice to anyone, because you guys know I'm a morning person, and morning is whenever you want it to be. The first hour when you wake up is so important, because it's a restart. Like, when you go to bed, you restart your energy, whatever you're sad about the night before. It's literally, you're resetting your energy. You could take the shower to do this too. Like, if you're crying and you're having a bad time, you're going through a breakup or a divorce or something bad's happening, take a shower, like, do something to reset your energy. But when you wake up, everything's clean, fresh slate, nothing's bothered you, which is why that first hour, I don't want to read any headline. I don't want to text from my mom. I don't want anything to ruin how I'm feeling. And if you start your day breathing, meditating, Ashley, I think you would love journaling, because you're such an incredible writer. And, like, you get everything in your head out on paper. Like, I'm feeling this today. And then you take a deep breath, and then you go engage with people or your child. Like, you're a completely different person, and you handle anything that comes your way so much better. Like, if I get bad news when I open my phone at 8, I'm not like, you know, I'm like, okay, well, how am I going to handle this? You know, because I took the time to align myself in the morning when nothing was bothering me.
Yeah, I think a big problem is, like, I get, like, all, like, the work that, like, you know, I'll get texts about, like, we need this done, we need this, we need this one. And then I go, okay, well, I'll get that done when the nanny comes home, gets over.
Is Dawson
then it's
asleep
like
at this point? when you
No.
So you already had to change his diaper.
So like I'm
and
already
stuff.
like
Yeah.
doing the things, and like I say I know what I have to do later in the day, but I can't do it now. So it's like, and then I'm going, it goes ding, 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 and I'm like, okay, well these are all the things that I'm going to have to tackle when she gets here, and then I'm going to have to get ready because I can't get ready now, and then it's just like all this stress is building and building,
Horrible way to
and I
live.
can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
So I think like what I need to do is just really like have them here in the morning so that I can like, okay, let's get the
Yes,
day
have
going
your
so I
me
can tackle
day.
those things now.
Yes.
Instead of having them build and fester when
Yes.
I'm not able to like get to them.
Yeah, and be realistic with what you can get done, because as someone who does
Yeah, I know.
18 things a day, I have a list in my phone, in my notepad, and I have a whole list of the 18 things, but I make a space after the third one. And I'm like, these are the 3 things that have to happen today.
Yeah.
And everything else I can maybe do Thursday or whatever.
Yeah.
It'd be great if I get it done. And that way you're not like, I have to do all this before I close my eyes. You know?
Yes,
Yeah.
that is very
Yeah.
Ashley. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so proud
right.
of you.
Well, thanks for the vent
Do
session.
you feel a little better after like talking?
That was, you started off hot, and now we've kind of figured some things out.
yeah.
Jared needs a cook.
Thanks, guys. Jared needs a cook, and I definitely need the nanny come in the morning.
Okay, good.
I
Two
think-
things.
Yeah.
Those are great.
And-
Those are great
yeah.
solutions, like immediate solutions you
But-
can implement.
But and I do like the outside. I like your take on even drives. Drives are
Drives
good
are the
therapeutic for me.
best.
I've always liked drives.
Yeah, you love drives, and that could be a fun way to spend. I think you should do it alone, but let's say you're with Dawson and like you're feeling overwhelmed. Like if you have to be with Dawson, it's just you guys go on a drive.
He's usually pretty chill in the car.
yeah,
which is
put
like,
him in the
oh,
car,
nice.
put a cool
Yeah.
song on, and get a nice mocha. I don't know, holiday drink, and like go see a new part
An
of town.
afternoon cozy.
I think something that's also really important that I want to share, that I feel compelled to share, is novelty, because I was feeling exactly how you're feeling, like inundated with a million things, doing all this stuff for other people. And I realized like when I don't have novelty, when I don't travel somewhere new or even go somewhere new in LA or try a new restaurant, I feel so like stuck, like stagnant. And
Yeah.
I don't know whether it's like a new book or a new show. Like, I think it's important to go somewhere new. So maybe you drive through a new neighborhood you haven't
No, I
seen before.
totally agree with that, and that's like also why I was like, why Jared, like, I don't want to say I'm frustrated with Jared, but I just like I kept saying
He
like,
has a routine.
we need to have one day a week where we like just do family things, because like again, it's not even like we have weekends where like you're dedicated like off time, because in fact our weekends are the worst, because those are the ones where he's at work the most, and then on weekdays we have like everything else, like all the regular work, that because most people work, you know, Monday to Friday. But I kept saying like we need to have one dedicated day a week where we do family things, and I wanted to go and do random things. Like during October, I wanted to go to Salem. Like I wanted to go to Vermont and do Woodstock Inn and stuff like that, because those little day trips give me a little invigoration. And like yesterday, I like want to go, the Giants are doing so well, and I'm like, well, I want to go to a Giants game, and like there's something about like a cool winter December Giants game when they're doing well, that like there's like an energy there, right? And I was like, I need you to make a point to like take this day off so we can go to that game.
Yeah.
Because like those are like the little things that like pop out like at the end of the year when you think about your year. You're like, oh, there's
Otherwise,
that day,
what the
there's
fuck
that
is
day.
the point? I take myself
Yeah.
on 2 dates a month. You could like do the same. And I'm like, I'm not going to document anything. I'm going to go to a concert, listen
Yeah.
to music. I'm going to go to jazz,
Yeah.
or like I'm going to go
Yeah.
have dinner somewhere nice. And at least you have that for yourself, you know, where it
Yeah.
doesn't have to be on Instagram. It's like you're fully
Yeah.
present.
Yeah, I mean that's also a stupid sounding stress, but I know we've
No,
talked
it's
about it
real.
before.
Everyone
Not,
feels this way.
and I don't even think it's an influencer
I
thing.
don't
I
even
think like
think- yeah.
everybody feels like that now. It's like whenever they do anything that's like a little out of the ordinary, whether it's an NFL game or a concert, it's like they have to like document it because it's content for everyone, whether they make their living from it or not.
It's
And we
wild.
really, really have to get out of that cycle.
It's
Yeah.
wild. When I went to Kauai,
No one
I
cares.
brought my Polaroids and I
Yeah.
brought my digital camera so that I wasn't on my phone. And I
like
got the
that.
coolest pictures, and everything we did pictures in the beginning, and then we put it away
Yeah.
and just fully saw everything. And
I
it's
like
the
that.
best.
Yeah, I really like that. I really enjoyed that. Ashley, also with all this stress, you've never been more stressed, but you haven't aged a day.
Yeah, you look
Lauren, I don't
incredible.
believe
No, I
that.
swear to God, I'm not. You don't have any bags under your eyes. You have no wrinkles. Like your face isn't showing your stress.
Really?
Yeah.
I've been worried that it has lately.
No.
Like, I'm like,
Your neck is tight. Your face is tight. Yeah, look at you.
it's because that amazing skincare, but I need to start eating well.
Even more important to have your you time, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you guys know that, like, I know how parents get fat, man. You just need that. You just need that comfort food. It's like at the end of the day,
Doesn't
the kid's
matter.
going to go to sleep and you're going to indulge and feel cozy.
Yeah. Doesn't matter.
And you don't care if
Yeah.
you're a little bit fat, you know?
I mean, I went to Hawaii and gained 5 pounds, and I love that line that Kourtney Kardashian said, even though the Kardashians are not an authority on body weight. But she was like, I just love when I'm a little heavier. So, and it's
Yeah.
She
true,
looks
and
great.
it's-
She looks
I mean,
incredible.
Yeah, I mean, she's not fat
I
at
think
all,
she looks better
obviously,
that
but
way, too.
I'm just saying, just that
No.
sentiment is I enjoyed hearing. Yeah.
100%. 100%.
Wait, before we leave, let's leave on a related yet light note. And of course, in classic I don't get it fashion, a food note.
Okay.
Naz, what was the best thing you ate in Hawaii?
Oh my God.
Like, what would make you gain weight in Hawaii? Because I feel like it's all poke bowls.
Yeah, it's poke and acai, but shaved ice. Have you guys ever had shaved ice?
Yeah,
No, but like the Hawaiian shaved ice.
I think so.
So there's real ice cream on the bottom.
No, I
It's
have not had that.
macadamia nut because they're known for macadamia nuts. You can get vanilla or macadamia, but I went to JoJo's Shaved Ice and they have like chocolate, different kinds. Like this is a shaved ice you haven't had before. It's not Italian ice. It's not gelato. It's not ice from like a carnival with like random flavoring. It's like unbelievable, organic, like amazing, either chocolate or fruit flavoring. And then there's all this ice cream on the bottom and it's huge. And I'm like, why isn't this everywhere in the world? Like Froyo took over and I was so confused. And it's when you get to the bottom, it's all like milky and like sugary.
That sounds
and
really
just,
freaking good.
oh, it's so fucking good.
It sounds like the bottom of a cake cone that's like
Yes,
has all
but
the
why does it
milkiness. Okay, yeah.
But why does it also sound kind of healthy? Because it's fresh.
Right, because
it's
you feel like it's
like it's
ice.
sweet and
Yeah.
caloric,
Yeah, it sounds like
but
ice.
it's not.
Yeah.
It's so much sugar,
No?
but it's
Oh, okay.
amazing. It's so good. Wait, Lauren was
great
going to
times.
say something.
Oh no, I was just gonna say for our next podcast, I feel like Naz has so much to say about her trip, and I feel like I had like an emotional event last night that I wanted to talk about. But like,
Yeah, I know. I wanted you to talk about it too, Lauren, because yours could kind of be tied in.
kind of. So next time we'll save that, and it won't be so fresh. So then I can have more time to digest.
All right. Bye, guys.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Podcast.